Good evening, IL family, and welcome back to your Inclination Life broadcast here where we talk about positive living via simple truths. Is Lady Timiel, and I hope that you have had an absolutely wonderful Monday and that your weekend was great. I truly missed talking to you guys on last week, but I hope you got all of the positivity that was shared on the page. And so tonight, I'm coming with a conversation. I was looking back over some videos and something popped up and reminded me that we are getting ready to enter into our final quarter of the year. And I think that it is very important to have a conversation with you, those of you who will receive it and those of you who will receive it as a challenge, to actually do something with the rest of the year. And so as I was thinking about this, as you guys know, out of all the sports, my favorite sport is basketball. And one thing that I love about basketball is that the game is not over until you get down to the last second. But there's something about the fourth quarter, because when people come into the fourth quarter, they come in with a mindset that even if I'm behind the game, even if I am the one that's in the lead, that I know third quarter is most important. It's usually the one that sets the tempo, but there's something about the ability to be able to come back, to still have that time to be able to come back and to win the game in the final quarter. And so I want you to look at that as in your life and our lives, that we are in our final quarter. We're entering into our final quarter and the game isn't over. The year isn't over. And so for some of you, we've been talking all year about this being the year of the dreamer, about this being a year that God is not only, providing us with visions and dreams and passions and igniting us to some things, but God is manifesting some things, a lot of things in our lives this year, if we would just grab a hold to it and hold on to it. And so in saying that, I want to remind that person who maybe life has happened. You know, I look at the fourth quarter like this is still no excuses. Like maybe things have happened in your life and you feel like you've had a lot of setbacks. You feel like there's a lot of things that have prevented you from some of the things that maybe you set out in January to do. Well, guess what? You still got another quarter in your year. The year is not over. 2018 is not over. And I know that we say things like God has the final say so, but tonight the reason why I said to own your outcome is because the thing about it is you get to decide how much energy, how much, maybe you have the faith, but faith requires action. And how much action, how many things are you going to put towards those things that you still believe that God is going to manifest in your life? What is your part? What is your role in it? If God has said a thing, yes, he's going to do it. But what is your role? What is your faith response that is required in this final quarter to get things done? And maybe you are the person that has gotten a lot of things achieved in this year and you feel like, okay, well, it's a great time to lay back. Well, the greatest teams, if you look at, especially if you looked at any playoff games or any of that, their starters, their greatest players, they played down to the bitter end unless they saw that they were not going to be able to win the game and they needed to rest for the next game. But they played right down to the end. And so as God's champion, I want to encourage you on tonight that you need to play this year out to the very end. Put all of your energy into whatever it is that God has given you. Don't give up. Don't throw up your hands. Don't say it just didn't happen for me this year, maybe 2019. You can get started in this year even if you don't see the final outcome, but on the outcome, whatever that is. And so if that means that you do nothing and you get down to the end of the year, don't murmur and complain about it. On the outcome, say, I didn't do the work. I didn't do the things that it was necessary. I didn't put my best foot forward. I didn't push myself out of my comfort zones to do anything. And so if you want to have a different outcome, I believe that in order to do that, you got to take these next 3 months. You've got to take the final part of this year and you've got to put your best foot forward. And my husband was preaching a message on yesterday and he talked about when you are in the airport. And I can't think of what those things are called, but you know them. You put your foot on, they help you to get through, especially big airports. You get on there, you step, and they glide you on the cross. And he said that on the sign, it said that you could take one step and then it will take you to your destination. So I believe on tonight, just like we say when we take one step, God takes two, that on tonight, if you would take a step of faith towards whatever it is, whatever you're still believing God for in this year, I believe that he will get you to your destination. So what is it for you? What is this thing that you need to own the outcome of? Is it in your health? Is it in your finances? Is it in a dream or a passion that you're working on? Is it in that business? Is it in that book that you need to start? What is the thing that you need to own the outcome for? Don't get to December 31st, 2018, Lord willing, and look back and say, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. I am igniting you personally, asking you to challenge yourself for the rest of this year to get something done. And so on tonight, this is just a challenge. This is just a moment of encouragement. Nothing deep, simple, plain, positive living via simple truths. Challenge yourself to do something in this last quarter, and let's finish it out strong. And let's take a note straight out of the best players in the game, and let's play into the bitter end and get the best out of 2018. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that this has encouraged you. And if you know someone else that needs this type of encouragement, share the message with them. They might just need that boost of encouragement to tell them that they still can do it, because he's already told us that we are victorious. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll talk to you next week as we have another conversation. Good night.